That's one right behind me of his.
Hi, everybody. It's Ryan from Pie Records. I'm here with Atomic Mosquitos. Hi, everybody. How are you?
We're pretty good.
How are you?
Hey,
So, I have a bunch of your albums, or a few of your albums. You're on a bunch of comps. Let's start it off by talking about how long you've been together and what got you together.
Well, I met Paul back in 1980, and we started up a band then.
I was only like 10 years old then.
20, somewhere around there. But we always wanted to be in a surf band. We could never find a unit to do that. So we ended up playing, mixture of surf and REM tunes and that sort of just a jambalaya of stuff. And after a while, I left that band when I got married. And long story short, I started writing surf again. Paul heard it, Craig heard it, and contacted me. I didn't know Craig at the time, and that's how I met Craig and Steve through Craig. And we just started up a surf band.
Yeah, we decided to just stick to straight instrumentals and none of the other filler crap.
Right.
Which is the opposite of what the other bands do. They think instrumentals are filler.
Well,
that was a big jump. That was a big jump forward to the year 2000 when the Atomic Mosquitos started, when I met Sean.
Right. Yeah, he contacted, I was putting stuff up on mp3.com long ago.
Oh, yeah.
And Craig contacted me and asked if he could come see the band. And I said, there is no band, but I have some friends. And George and Paul were two friends I played with for a long time. And me and Paul wanted to do surf. We talked George to come over and Craig just come over and just see what happens. And we've never stopped playing since.
Awesome.
Other than George.
What was the driving force behind getting together? Like a lot of bands like a lot of bands saw the Ramones and they said, "Oh, I have to start a band." What was it for you guys?
Me personally, I grew up with music. My dad was in a big band, played clarinet, took us to operas and Eric Clapton. I just always loved music, but I loved things like Herb Alpert and jazz and stuff that was all instrumental. And that was whenever I sit down and write, that's what I really write. So I just always wanted to play music since I think about 11. It's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and I was always a big Ventures fan, and I think Walk Don't Run was the first song I ever learned on guitar. So I was born with it. I was born with this curse.
It's something you just feel you have to do for whatever reason. It's just, what makes you happy,
Yeah. What about you, Steven? What about you?
I used to be a drummer in lots of bands back in the 80s and 90s. I was in a band called The Skeptics. That's probably the one that went the farthest. And then wasn't really doing anything for a while until I picked up a theremin and started messing around with that. And Craig asked if I wanted to come play with the Atomic Mosquitos, and that's how I got pulled into that.
Initially, it was just a couple songs on our first album. We just wanted, some extra effects on a couple songs, and then suddenly he's a permanent member.
Yeah, I remember just knowing Craig and going to his house and meeting Steve. I had no idea who Steve was, but as soon as he said he was a theremin player, I was like, "Oh, you're in the band."
It kind of gets close to the Mummy sound, slightly.
With you mean the keyboard, keyboard sound?
Yeah. From what I heard, I mean that as a compliment.
Oh, Mummy. Yeah, I love them.
So
I think the the Atomic Mosquitos, I don't think there was ever really a sound that we were chasing after.
Yes, sir.
You know, we're just kind of a compilation of different ideas, and that's kind of what formed our sound. And I think originally the thought was, since we were doing a lot of Sean songs, you know, I kind of thought of us as Herb Albert with guitars. And then when Steve joined the band and kind of made things a little eerier, you know, that changed our sound. And then I started kind of drumming a little bit harder and louder, and things just kind of kept evolving. And you can hear the progression from album after album.
I think also Joe joining the band. We got a lot heavier when he started playing.
Oh, that's true. When I left me and Paul split up, I went and joined kind of an XTC alt band and with Joe for a while. And when I got married and quit music for a year, that's when I started writing again. And I asked Joe, when George quit the band, my friend from high school finally quit the band, I asked Joe if he would come in, and he came in, and he was more of a, you know, XTC guy, hard edge guitar playing stuff. And so the style of our music changed immediately, because essentially Paul plays lead in all of his songs that he writes, and Joe plays lead in all the songs that I write. So you can kind of hear the difference when you're listening to the two songs, even if you don't know who wrote it.
That must be quite a process when all of you are collaborating. When you get in a room, the energy must be pretty high.
Yeah, and the arguments too.
And when Sean writes a song, I pretty much completely change the drum parts. So he'll write a song, you know, he'll record all the parts, you know, and he'll have a drum machine or whatever he's got going on over there. But
Drum machine.
He'll present us a complete song, and then we will all learn it and add our interpretation to it, and then it becomes an actual Atomic Mosquitos song, not a Sean song.
Yeah, everybody gets a say. If you're not that way in a band, then people are going to get angry and leave. And we've been together for 20 years now.
So let's talk about some of your albums that came out. When was your first album, and how have you changed along the way?
It's like we were saying, it's gotten heavier. The first album, I would say it's a little timid.
It's the happy
And
album.
yeah, just even in the playing and whatever, like Craig was saying, the more we played together, the tighter we got. And then the second album was much better. And ultimately, I don't remember when that was. It 2000 or 2001 when it came out.
2002.
2000. Well, there you go.
Yep, because next year will be the 20th anniversary of that album.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And we might have something special planned for that.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
We're throwing a party together.
Oh, nice.
Getting the pizza.
So, Stephen, I wanted to ask you, how is your artwork? I see it everywhere. How is your artwork represent the band? It's got a distinct style to it.
Well, for the album covers that I've done so far for the band, I kind of like to try something different each time. Like the first one was a pen and ink drawing of the mosquitoes going over top of a city, like giant mosquitoes. And then the second album cover was an acrylic painting, but I try to keep a mosquito theme in there, but not necessarily connected. It's just kind of like some kind of mosquito theme. And the third one was Meltdown, and I had the mosquito girl in the bar with the guys drinking from the toxic glasses and melting. I don't know if you're familiar with it. You've seen it.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one, we decided to do a parody of the Cramps' Bad Music for Bad People album cover. Since I did the artwork for that, we called it Bug Music for Bug People, and I did kind of like a mosquito version of what I did on the cover for the Bad Music for Bad People by the Cramps.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
awesome too.
Killer record.
And then the one, what was that?
Oh, it's a killer record, The Cramps.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I can tell you too that during this pandemic, I've been bored out of my gourd. Haven't left my house other than go to work. And Steve and John Dietrich did 100 characters called Funny Fiends. And so to pass the time, I've been writing a song for every one of the 100 characters.
Wow.
So then just like 30-second, minute and a half, just by looking at the character and deciding what it should sound like with a background theme. And just over the last couple months, I took 3 of them and expanded them, and they'll be on the next album. So his artwork has made me a different writer too, because his artwork has made me think of music a little differently. So it was great experience for me. Thank you, Steve.
Oh, you're welcome.
Steve was a big part of our sound changing, not just through theremin, but also through his artwork. You know, the theremin kind of gave the music, you know, a little bit of creepy, weirder sci-fi feel, and then the artwork is kind of monstrous, and I think that kind of found its way into the music a little bit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Steve is actually the integral part of this band. Without him, we'd dissolve.
I don't think so.
You see the Peacekeeper?
I just steer clear of them. I let them do their thing.
And he doesn't get involved in the arguments.
Paul, I want to ask you, what is your major influence on your guitar style in the Atomic Mosquitos?
I don't know. The Ventures, I don't know, Dave Ronsky, Ivan Pongrasic, all those guys, they're all great. And major influence, I can't really think. I mean, I like them all, so I'm influenced by them all.
I love the version of Blue Moon that they did with the strumming is just. I have the 45 and I sat down. It took me a while to learn that one.
The Ventures.
Yeah.
I don't know, Blue Moon. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we have coming up? We have the Missing Fink Vincent Price comp and something else coming out for you guys, something special.
We have like I think I mentioned before, we have Bug Music being re-released on vinyl. That's coming up soon.
Green vinyl, I believe.
For the first time, on vinyl, which will be fun.
Yeah.
And
was that originally released?
It was originally released on CD, but we never did it on vinyl. So I'm pretty psyched about that. Especially to see
2015. I got it right here. 2015.
Yeah, especially to see Steve's artwork at full size. It'll be great.
Oh yeah, that'll be so awesome.
You know,
I've been begging Steve to make prints for me of all our album covers so I can put them up in the house, but still no.
I just got a new printer, so I can do that now.
Oh, good. I'll see you after the pandemic.
Okay.
So what specifically is unique about the song you have on the Vincent Price comp?
It's that song on that one is actually an old song that but the recording is from a live recording that we did out in California, Surf Guitar 101.
Yeah.
And that was just, something we threw together because time and stuff like that. But we did do an original on the Creature Surf and Shindig album. We did an original song for that one, which is also going to be on a new album, which we are working on. We're trying to work on during the pandemic. We've been trying to practice remotely with Jamulus and stuff like that.
Have you got any?
Trying to
Which
keep
is
things
working.
along. What's that?
Have you gotten any recording done on that?
Not well. Other than that one song, or actually two songs.
We were getting ready to go into the studio when the pandemic hit.
Right.
So I keep telling Paul we're going to have a double album now.
We got a lot of
Just been
songs.
writing songs.
Maybe the second album could be all 30-second songs.
Yeah.
I got 100 of them. I was so bummed when I finished them all.
So
Now, yeah, we are working on a new album too, but that's going pretty slowly. But we're going to try and get it going faster here soon.
what are some of the themes we can expect on that? Are we going in the same direction? Is it a little bit more aggressive?
It's definitely I think it's going to be rip snorting. I think it definitely is going to carry on the tradition of faster, more power.
Yeah.
I don't see things slowing down.
We have a couple of slow songs, but
Yeah, and I think that's kind of intentional because we kind of got hyper focused on intensity. That's good to reel it back in and play some slow stuff. So I think there was a conscious effort to do that.
Yeah, I think a lot of my style's just different this time because of the funny themes that I did with Steve. They made me think of music in a different direction. So I have some slower things that I wrote that I usually don't. Mine are usually fast and really bad drum machine parts.
I think it's the songs that I've heard that he's written anyway. They're kind of quirky and fun. I like that. They have a little quirkiness to them.
Yeah.
And
If
one
I
thing,
had to describe them.
kind of a different direction on your question, because you asked about a theme. That's the one thing that you can find through our whole catalog is a theme with Simpsons references in our titles,
That's my bad. My bad.
and random songs that have animal noises.
That's true. Now this album's going to have more, not Simpsons, but Rick and Morty titles. So.
Oh, right.
And I already got Floaty Blood Man and time travel stuff, or two that are going to be on the next album.
So I just want to remind people that they can find you on Facebook.
Yep.
You have a Bandcamp site?
We do not.
No, we don't. We should.
Yeah. But I know they can find you on Apple Music and the streaming platforms. And you have Instagram, you have vinyl coming out. How will people be able to get the vinyl?
Missing Think, I believe, right? Missing Think at Bandcamp.
Yeah.
All right, Steve.
Yes, that's right.
And then, of course, they can always come to a show when everything opens back up, and we'll have them there too.
Yep.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly. Soon.
Yeah, we were actually playing out quite a bit before things shut down.
Yeah.
So it was.
We just got back from Italy, which was awesome.
Oh, wow. Did you
Yeah.
bump into the Beaters band over there?
So
Which one?
They're called the Beaters band.
no, we were at a festival, the Surfer Joe Festival.
Okay.
So there were a ton of bands there. If they were there, I don't remember.
Well, that's
Like
a lot.
3 days of surf music. It was awesome. Yeah.
So I want to wrap this up before we get cut off, but I do want to say that you are from DC. You're from the East Coast, USA, and I thank each and every one of you for setting aside some time tonight. I know your family's probably waiting on you for dinner, and this Zoom application is going to cut me off soon, so I don't want to cut off anything else you might want to add.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
But I got nothing else. Steve?
I got nothing. Wait a minute. Got this.
Oh, oh yeah.
Okay.
Craig?
I got
So-
this.
Is it show and tell now?
Craig, do you have anything to share?
I'm in my wife's office, so
Yeah, it says Heather Stanning.
Yeah,
I
this-
figured as much.
Yeah.
nothing terribly interesting.
Here, you can have this. How about this guy?
Here's we did This Jesus Must Die on this comp, which was a Jesus Christ Surfer Star comp.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a weird concept, but it was actually pretty cool.
My
Yeah, we
wife-
got to do one for hair too. They
my
did a
wife
hair
drinks
comp.
water.
Is that moonshine?
Mm,
Hey, we
it-
didn't mention
it might be.
the Link Raycom. Didn't mention the Link Raycom.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Music Records is doing a redo of a Link Ray comp, and
Added some extra
we did a
bands.
song for it.
Yeah.
We did Son of Rumble, which is like an old lost Link Ray track that was released a couple years ago, and it's a really cool song. So
Wow. A lot of I've talked to a lot of people on this podcast, and Link Ray keeps coming up, so I'm sure that's going to be fantastic.
he's actually was from this area, which is kind of cool. He's from the Southern Maryland area. Maybe not from the area. He was also from North Carolina, but he also but he had a place here too.
Were you guys affected by that craziness last night, or what?
Just watching it on TV and just not believing. Well, I believed it. I knew it was going to happen, but just insane.
Yeah,
We're all safe.
you guys are all safe. Nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of us are really live in DC proper. We were all outside of the city, so
Well, Joe lives right across the river, so he actually got an alert to stay at home, stay inside.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you guys very much. I appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time. I appreciate your music, and I know everybody else does too. And I appreciate the unspoken message that you send.